Welcome back to Wrenches in Motion, where if it ain't broke, I ain't buying it. And today, well, this video I didn't want to make. I just wanted to get the music going and get this job done. But I figured I'd shoot a quick video and let you guys know that I do a lot of work, sometimes off camera, just because I like having the music blaring. Welcome back to the channel, this 2006 Honda CRV. I bought it a couple years ago. Girl had it at a transmission shop, and I guess the labor quote was way too much, so I bought it cheap and brought it home, and I rebuilt the transmission, and it's here for a transmission again. This is the original trans that I rebuilt. It only lasted about 25,000 miles, and then it had other issues. When I got it, it had a totally smoked second gear clutch. So I put all new clutches in it, and yeah, 25,000 miles or so, it decided to break something else. I cannot get it apart. I was going to rebuild it again. Got the kit, got a new torque converter, and I can't get the case apart. I have no idea what's going on. So I looked at this one, which I bought from, I'm not going to say, but I didn't notice that it had been welded, and one of the bolt holes for the front mount had been stripped out. So we put this in, and it was worse than the original one. So that's when I decided to rebuild that one. Yeah, which was successful. Anyway, these are both junk. I can't wait to get rid of these. And my battery's about to die. So let me change batteries, and we'll go back outside, and I will tell you why not to buy this particular version of a CRV. And it has to do with those letters right there. Okay, so this is a GPLA transmission, which may not mean a lot to a lot of people. So let's go out here, and I'll show you something I didn't know when I bought it, and something I definitely know now. This is only for the 04 to 06 models. And if your VIN is SRS, if it starts with SRS, it is a UK built CRV, and you cannot just go buy a JDM transmission and put in here. Oh no, that ain't gonna work. You have to get the one from the UK. And these here are not $500 or $600 like you can buy a JDM one. Oh no, these are over $1,000. I guess maybe because of the rarity of the UK version. I don't know. But yes, buy a Japanese one, not a UK one. And that's my rant for the day. All right, so we got the transmission in. The other thing we had was not your typical K-series oil leaks, because I fixed those. But in the front, the guy I sold it to had the head redone, put new timing chains in it, and he said it leaks oil like crazy, and I cannot find what I'm looking for. I just had it, and where did I put it? I have no idea. I'll tell you what, let me come back when I can find what I'm looking for. Okay, I found what I was looking for. I threw it in a vise. So one of these things, I'm trying to open the vise and not drop it. If you can see in there, maybe there's a big gouge in there where someone took the seal out. Probably a screwdriver gouged it. So that's one of the leaks. And the other leak I found was the harmonic balancer. If you look, you can see grooves where the seal goes. Now the one I got, of course, has no grooves. So I believe that's the cause of our oil leaks. leaking right out of the seal. He said it was leaking out of the seal, so that makes perfect sense. So I got another timing cover, got another harmonic balancer, put those on. Got that sealed up yesterday. Started throwing it back together, and I was working on the K-member, and I couldn't get the front motor mount, or transmission mount, whatever you want to call it. This thing right here, I couldn't get that to line up, and it was very upsetting. And then I realized that I've just got this held in by the back and the front, nothing on the side, and the engine will rock back and forth. So I think what I got to do, put the mount back on, and put the K-member back up, grab the engine, pull the engine over, and then I'll be able to get that bolt in there and get that mount. Once you do that, we got to put the back transmission mount in. The mount's there. We just got to bolt it to the K-member, and hopefully then we can hook up our hoses for the transmission cooler, which I already flushed. And after I get that other mount, it's time for some suspension. Now, when I did it before, I put new control arms in it, new tie rod ends, all that typical stuff. And I also fixed all the oil leaks, all the typical K-series oil leaks. So this thing should be nice and dry, and hopefully with this transmission it runs and drives really good. The other thing I'm worried about is it took so long for the parts to get here, and I was on travel and stuff like that. If this transmission doesn't work, I don't know if I still have warranty time to rip it back out. I mean, I'm busy all next week, so I'm not going to be out here working. I'm not going to have a chance really to pull it back out. So I'm just crossing my fingers, hoping this transmission works. The other thing we need to do with this is it needs tires. So I got to get tires for it. And I need a key because this one is broke, and you're not going to be able to see anything in there. And right now it's stuck in the ignition, so I mean, I'll be able to get that out, but I think that's going to be it. Yeah, tires and a key. This is potentially already sold. I've just got to get it finished. So with that, let me get back under here, see if I can get this mount on, see if I can get the motor rocked over, K-member in, and then we'll be rocking and rolling from there, I think. All right, well, we made some, I made something happen. You're not probably going to be able to see it, but we got the front mount in, K-members in. We got the lower control arms in loosely so that we can move them around. We popped the axles in the transmission. The other side's got the axle bracket and the axle shield bolted back up. So now over here, we'll take these bolts out. Well, you really can't see. Take the axle nut off. It's time to drop the spindle on here. So we're going to do that on both sides. And sway bar is going to be after that. And then the transmission cooler lines. And maybe I'll find some clips for this because this is loose as all get out. And throw some trans fluid in it, and I think we're going to be ready to start it. Yeah, because I mean that's all we got left is the two knuckles. Oh, brake rotors. Yeah, we'll probably throw the brakes on since we're here. Yeah, once we get the knuckle in, we go ahead and tighten up the control arms, get them done. All right. So that is what's going on. We did get a new battery, so it's just chilling in here. We'll hook that up. Probably, you know, we're probably just going to go ahead and throw the air box in too, just get it all buttoned up, and then see what happens when we hit the key. Who knows at this point? But I know I'm tired of laying on the ground, but I've still got some more laying on the ground to do. All right, we'll be back once we get these knuckles on. Alright, I figured I'd show you a little bit of action shots here. If you were here, you'd be listening to Running to Stand Still by U2. I got the axle pulled through, got the ball joint nut started, so we're good there. I just want to get a couple threads on an axle nut here. Alright, just make sure that doesn't pull out, which it shouldn't. And then, there we go. These are the not difficult part really. This you gotta push in and line them up, and they're kind of a pain. There's one. I think these are 19 on one side and 22 on the other side. So that's always a plus. Oh, you're not even close. There you are. Come on. There we go. 22's on this side. So when I took these knuckles off, you can never get the ABS sensor out. So I just unplugged it from up there, and this bracket bolts on there like this. That plugs in. So much easier to do it that way. That way you're not constantly fighting, because those ABS sensors will break off. All right, let's grab the big boy, and we'll tighten up the ball joint nut. We'll tighten up the strut for the knuckle. We'll tighten up the axle nut, and then we'll tighten up the control arms, and we'll be good to go. Well, we are done with everything. All that's left now. Put some tires on. I think probably put some air in that. Whew. Oh boy, these tires are shot. Look at it, it's down to the wear bars there for sure. So we'll go ahead and test drive this thing. You guys will come along for the ride. We'll see what it does. And oh, nice spider. Hopefully not a black widow. And yeah, let's see what this thing's gonna do. First thing we gotta do is put transmission fluid in it. I'm just gonna dump a gallon in, and we'll see where we are from there. Mainly check for leaks. Got to see. I did change oil, so we got that going on. We'll check that front seal for leaks. Oh, this wheel is not good. Oh my gosh, we need another wheel. Let me get you in here and show you this. Let me get a flashlight. Oh, take you off the tripod. Hang on. Look at how wallowed out that is. That one too. All right, so we got two that are holding and one kind of holding. This will be a short test drive, because I'm not having this wheel fall off. Let's put the other one down, get this thing off the jack stands, and then I'm not even going to torque them. We'll see if I need, I don't think I need a wheel for that side, but we'll find out. Alright, she is back on the ground. Now, there's a 17mm plug right here. Take that bad boy out. And that is the motor mount, so don't take that one out. I guess you got to fill it through the dipstick tube, which is way under there. This is why you this is why you do this with the airbox out. So let me pull a dipstick tube out, tighten up that one bolt, and we'll then we'll go ahead and fill this thing. It's always something. And I can't get this funnel in here, so I'm gonna have to get the long one. Okay, we got the airbox in, battery's hooked up. We're hot. Let me start this thing, see what it does. I'm gonna come out here with a flashlight, check for leaks, because it definitely had those. Oh, we got the beep sound, that's good. This thing still cranks over slow, and I don't know why. Fresh battery, it's probably a starter, but I know you can't see it, but I did. There's no leaks. We put it in gear, see what it does. Please work. Please work. Oh, there we go. Let's take it for a drive, see if it goes through the gears. All right, well, this thing is upset about something. We got VSA, ABS, brake light, whatever that triangle is. And we got brake line squeak, and we got check engine light. But all we want to do is see if it shifts. Whew, those brakes are pretty soft. Ain't gonna lie about that. Oh, shifted in a second. Oh yeah, these brakes are definitely soft. Oh yeah, third, fourth. All right, so it sounds like we got the dust shield is rubbing on the brake rotor. Not a big deal there. We can fix that. All the brake lights went out. ABS lights out. So now all we got is, well, brakes still can feel kind of soft though. We're gonna have to bleed those. Yep, definitely rubbing on the rotor. We'll take care of that. Okay, we are back. I'm going to scan this thing, figure out what it's upset about, and yeah, we're gonna call that a win. So just so, all these seatbelts are nasty. This thing's been sitting here so long, starting to mold up on the inside. So there's the broken key, and here's the chip. You gotta like hold up to it when you're cranking it, which, there you go, which is kind of a real pain, but it works for now. I have to go to a dealer and get a key made. All right, let me roll these windows up and we'll call this thing done. Things we need to do are tires and a new front wheel. And you can definitely see the mold in here. So we need to scrub all this out. And clean that up, we need a key, which we need to take that out because that's showing the P. We need to figure out how to get that key out of there. A key or two, I guess. Of course, that's a dealer, so you know that's going to be expensive. We got tire. Oh, and we got to figure out what's rubbing on the brakes. Once we get that done, get it inspected. Maybe I have to talk to who's buying it. I think they're taking it to Florida. If they are, I'm not going to get it inspected. They can take it just the way it is, and I'll just throw the wheels and tires in the truck and get them changed, and trailer it to the dealer so they can do the key. We are back from the junkyard, and while we do have a rim, it is black. Oh, so the guy asked me if I wanted all four. I said, no, I just need one. And I looked at this and I'm like, well, if I can't get it back to silver, I guess we're just going to paint them all black. So that may happen. I do want to clean up the center cap for sure, because even if they're black, I'd like the chromish center cap. So let me get some stuff together and see if I can figure out how to get this rim back to being clean, get rid of the black, make it silver, or clean it, shoot it black, and shoot the other ones black. I guess we're going to find out here shortly. Alright, well, this is it. After about 15 minutes, I used a wire wheel on the drill, which probably didn't do the finish of the wheel any good, but I got most of the black stuff off. I'm going to let it dry, probably hit it with some primer tomorrow, and I'm trying to figure out what color to go with. I have a universal silver, but I think that's going to be too bright. So I may look around at Lowe's, see if they got any, you know, like I think it's called Argent, which is like a little darker silver, more of a grayish color. But what I might do is take some of this universal, spray it on something, and then hold it up to one of the other wheels and see what it looks like. If it's close, I'll go with it. If it's, you know, way far off, then we'll look for another color. All right, somewhat making progress. We've got the wheels off, and I need to clean them up and then prime them. This is the color I got. It's Duplicolor. It's a little bit darker, but I think that's going to be better than that bright silver we had picked out. So I'm going to bring the hose over and some super clean, get all these things clean, let them dry, then hit them with some brake cleaner, make sure they're all nice and clean. Probably going to sand a little bit. I mean, just a little bit here and there, just, you know, just to get them looking decent, I guess. But what I thought was there was a noise when I was driving it, and it sounded like a dust shield. But if you take a look at this one, anyway, that one sounds normal. It's in park, so it's really hard to turn. I went back to this rear. Notice the rotor looks like garbage, and it kind of sounds like garbage. So I believe rotors are cheap, so I'm probably going to order a set of rotors for the back. And then I came over to this side, and this rotor don't look too bad. But why is that? Oh, maybe that's why. Yeah, that's forward. Anyway, super hard to turn, so I'm gonna get calipers, pads, and rotors for the back, and we'll do those, and then those should be good, because the fronts, trust me on that, the fronts are fine. They just make normal little scraping noise. But the backs is where we got issues. So I'm going to go in right now and order those up. And those will be here in a few days. The tires will be here tomorrow. So when I scrub these down, let them dry, pull the wheel weights off, and I was going to take them Saturday to get the tires mounted, but I believe I have to work this weekend. Something came up, there's a emergency, so I'm going to have to work. But now that this is off, look at these four bolt holes. Holy cow. Yeah, no wonder this thing was terrible. So this rim is garbage. We gotta make sure we don't paint that one. Just these four. And it looks like just that big weight there. We got a little weight here. And I don't believe that one has any weights on the outside. So we just gotta take 2 weights off. Easy day. Alright, we got our wheels out here. We got the first coat of primer on. Just a little dust coat. So now we're going to go ahead and put the first coat of real primer on it. And let that sit. And as you can see, the sky's kind of not so good. So I'm hoping to beat the rain. I don't think it's supposed to rain today, but with these clouds, you never know. So let's get this second coat of primer on. Alright, we got the second coat of primer on. Everything looks good. So, gonna let this dry, probably for a half hour or so. Come back and we'll shoot some color. And I've got to eat some lunch because I'm starving. Alright, second coat of primer is dry. We've got our Duplicolor wheel coating, and we're about to spray it. And before I start spraying it, I just want to say, what is it with bugs? They don't like primer, they like paint, but they really love clear coat. How many of us has gone through that? Yeah. So we're not going to clear coat these, we're just going to go ahead and spray them and see what it looks like. I do have one of the original wheels over there. We'll bring it over for comparison, just to see the color. I know this is going to be a little bit darker, but I still think it's going to look better than what it was, especially that one with all that black plastic dip on it. Well, I got the dust coat done, and there is a lot of metallic in here. So I think these are going to look really good when they're done. I mean, yeah, if you take a look, you know, you can see it's scuffed, but it's all going to be one color. And the tires did come today, so I've got the tires loaded up in the Pilot. I'm hoping that these will dry once I get the second coat on, and then the third coat. But I don't think they're going to be dry today, so we're going to have to wait until probably Monday to put the tires on. And then I've still got to do the back brakes, so those parts are coming, so I can't put the wheels back on anyway. So I'm really not in any rush to get this done. But let me go ahead and throw the first real coat on, and we'll see what these things look like. Alright, well, here they are. They're done. And not gonna lie, I don't really like it. It's a lot brighter than I thought it was gonna be, especially if you compare the old one. I mean, I know there's no metallic in it, but I was expecting a darker gray like that, not a really bright silver. But they're done. Can't do nothing about it now. Alright. So we let these dry, throw them in the Pilot, and yeah, whenever we get a chance, we'll get the new tires mounted. Alright, I took a look at the time and said, you know what, I think I've got time. So I ran over to Ramon's, got the tires mounted. There's the fronts, there's the backs. I'm not going to put those on until we do the brakes, of course. So, we got that going for us. They do look really good. Now, for in here, we still got the keys stuck in the ignition. So I just ordered an ignition last night. That should be here in a few days. We'll pull that ignition out. And then what I think we're going to try is this little chip right here. This is for the immobilizer. I think we're going to take it out of here and just try to glue it right on top of there on the new one. That way it doesn't matter which one of the new keys you use, it'll start. And the reason I'm doing that is because the keys that I'm buying don't come with the chips in them. I'm not sure how much more it would have been to get keys with chips, but keys without chips and the ignition cylinder and the 2 lock cylinders for the doors was like $70. So I think I'll have to take that. And how did I know there was going to be one back here? Oh. Well, that one I'm not going to change unless what if I did this? What if I just kept that key once I could get it out, give them that key for the door, use the other ones for the ignition. They can keep the lock cylinders. If they feel froggy, they could change them. Or do I just go ahead and change it for them and then pull this lock out, change the tumblers around, make it work with the new key, and then put the lock back in so everything works? I don't know. It's not really worth putting all this money into. I mean, I know what I've got in it, and I'm definitely not going to get it back out. So, you know, where do you draw the line? Where do you stop fixing things? Alright, well, I'm supposed to be sleeping because I've been up since 2 o'clock and I had to go into work today and I'm tired, but I couldn't sleep because we had car parts out here. So what we've got is we've got our new ignition cylinder with keys and everything we're gonna need, including these nice little things here. So what we've got is we got keys, and obviously these are cut for the new ignition. And what I've got is the way you have to start this is here's the little RF chip right here. You have to hold this up here because the key's all broke, and it'll read that and start. But I've only got one, so he gave me another key, and it does work. I did see the light go on somewhere, wherever the light is. Okay, there's a light. So it hasn't been cut, it hasn't been programmed to the old ignition. So what I'm going to try to do is take the key apart and get the chip out of it, and that'll be my second key if I can program it. If I can't, then I've got another idea, which may seem counterintuitive, but if I can take this other chip, the one that's programmed to the car, and glue it on the ignition cylinder somewhere close to where the RF can read it, like maybe, I don't know, glue it to the side here or something to where this will read it, then we may be in business. Then both of the keys will work. You don't have to worry about it. But I'm going to try to program this other chip first, just because. Yeah. So what we're going to need is we're going to need a Phillips screwdriver to take the plastic off, a hammer and chisel, because on this here, when this goes on, there's these security bolts, and when you tighten up the security bolts, the top part breaks off, and all you've got is this round portion. And you take a hammer and a chisel and loosen it up that way, and then you can get in there and take that out. So that's why we've got this going on. Set that right there. And yeah, you don't really need to see me take plastic off, so I'll be back once I get that off and maybe show you what's going on inside. Well, I almost entitled this segment, How to Destroy Your Security Lock and not get the bolt out. But we did, finally. It was supposed to be just a couple-minute job. Ended up being 2 chisels and a whole lot of pain later. We got the one out. That was the easy one. Now it's time to do the one on the passenger side, which of course is going to be the hard one because there's even less room to work with. So here's the old cylinder, finally out. The other side came right out. I don't know what was wrong with the driver's side, but as you can see, this is our column lock right here, and this cylinder will not release it, so it won't let the key out. Our new cylinder right here, ow, let go of it. Now watch that little silver thing on the end. See how it goes down, and then you let the key out, it pops it up. So working cylinder. However, we do have to take the RF thing off of this one. Notice it's got 2 greens, so this part has to come out and go on the new one. Not a big deal. A screw here, there's 2 screws here, and yeah, let's pop that on there. Or I just had another thought. What if I take this? Oh, I can't because it's got this. I'll just say, what if I were to just put the chip like on here and just stuff that under the column somewhere? But I can't because, well, maybe I can. Maybe this I think is separate. We might try that too. All right, hang on. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do. Sorry for the beeps. What I did was I just taped the pill to the RF thing, shoved it in there, and let's see if we get anything. No, it don't like that one bit. Really? Do I have to tape you to the ring? I mean, I can do that too. Let's see if that changes anything. That's it. Okay, so it likes the ring, it don't like being up here. And I can take the key out. Okay. So I think I've got to do something else because the pill just fell. So what if alright, I guess we're going to try to do it the right way. We'll put this on here and yeah, we'll screw that on there. Throw the pill inside the key. It should work. And then before I put all this together, I'm going to get my scanner, hook it up, see if I can program that other key. And maybe they'll just have one ignition key. I don't know. Well, that was actually easier than I thought. I used the Autel, and I used the add one key feature, And now I've got 2 working keys, 2 working pills. This ignition switch is junk. So let me unwire that thing, go ahead and bolt it in with our new bolts, and we'll start throwing this thing back together. Wow, this has escalated, hasn't it? Oh boy. So really the best way to do this, in my opinion, is to drop steering column, because there's no way you can get a socket on those security bolts to tighten them up. And every time I tried the one on the passenger side, it started going in crooked. So I just dropped the column. That should give me straight access. I'll be able to tighten this thing up. Getting the ignition cylinder in the proper position is important, because that silver thing has to go up and lock the column. And if you've got that off, then it's never going to lock the column. It's not going to fit right. So you got to kind of feel around for it, and then you'll feel it lock in. And that's when you want to tighten everything up. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Oh, the column is back in. The lock works. I tried to start it and it wouldn't start. And I'm thinking, oh boy, did I unplug something or something? I also noticed that the security light was not flashing. And sure enough, I forgot to plug back in the security module. So once I did that, car started right up. So we're good to go. Before I start putting the plastics back in, I want to give this thing a little bit of a clean on the inside. So we got our Mr. Clean and some microfibers. And I think it's time to wipe this thing down a little bit. I still have not decided if I'm going to change the door locks. I know they can be a real pain. But as of right now, you can't lock it unless I can dig the key out of there somehow. The old key. But that's where we're at for right now. The other thing I want to do is these little chip covers. Yep, there you go. They just snap in. I want to put a little bit of glue on there and glue that thing in. That way that chip is definitely not coming out. Can you imagine taking this out of your pocket, this opening up, the chip falling out in the parking lot? You have no idea where it is. And now you're pretty much stuck because you can't go anywhere. Well, well, well. We are 100% back together over here. Grab our first key. Perfect. I've got to reset the maintenance required light. I just changed oil. And let's put the other key in. There we go, just like downtown. Okay, so the last 2 things to fix. Ow! I hit my head on that thing again. It's nice, but boy, that gets in your way when you're trying to get in and out. So we've got the rear brakes. I don't have the hardware yet. The calipers and the rotors and the pads. Those should be here. I'm hoping tomorrow, but you never know. And then the AC. I was told the AC didn't work. It leaked out super fast. And I verified that by hooking up our vacuum pump to it. And once I turned off the vacuum pump, it wasn't 20 minutes later, we were already losing vacuum. So I replaced the Schrader valve cores, vacuumed it down. Came out 3 or 4 hours later, it was still holding. Came out here today, this was last night. Came out here today and it was down probably 5 inches of mercury. But that could have been coming out of the pump too. It could have been leaking back through the pump. So I'm not too concerned about that. We'll go ahead and throw some dye in there, charge up the AC. And then I think the CRV is going to be done. Oh, all right. Oh, no, we still got to worry about the door locks. We're still contemplating that. Well, my scrapper came over, took the 2 transmissions. Now I got all these parts I'm going to throw in a box, put somewhere, who knows where. Probably never use them again. but I'll have parts for something. Anyway, let me go this way. We have had a bunch of crap weather. It's been raining. Wind has gone crazy. Big old chunks of branches came falling down. I heard a loud slam. I think it hit the roof, but I'm not sure. Oh, I almost fell. And the branches down over there, branches down over here. Anyway, brake parts are supposed to be here today. So we are going to take off the calipers, hang them, take off the brackets, and then take off the rotors, because I got new rotors coming too. And then I saw this. Yep, we got one there and a flat. Oh no, it's a, okay. So they're both Phillips. My question is, have these rotors ever been done? Don't know, they feel pretty rough. If not, good luck getting those out. I may have to run up to Harbor Freight and grab one of those impact screwdrivers, because mine broke again. I keep breaking the tips, and it'd be nice if you could just buy replacement tips. They're hardened steel, and if you get them just a little bit crooked, they're going to snap on you, and of course I did. So I'm going to try to get these screws out. Wish me luck. If not, it's drill baby drill. Well, that was no fun doing an easy job. Calipers are off. I've just got them sitting over there. They're not going anywhere. Brackets came off. Calipers are 12 and the brackets are 15 millimeters. So I got them off. Now it's time for these screws. Like I said, if they don't come off, it's Harbor Freight time. Alright, well, we had a bunch of running around to do, including getting the impact screwdriver. So we got that, we got our big hammer, we got those loose. So we're just going to go ahead and spin them out and get these rotors off of here. Oh yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reuse them. I know people are saying, and even me have said, don't put them back in. But, oh, really? Oh, that's different. Really? I can see where this is going to go. Alright, well, I'm going to have to hit a lot harder than that, I think. Because they are not coming off. Yeah. Oh, man. Let me try the other side so I can actually get a decent swing. Well, that took an insane amount of effort, but we got it. So now, whew, actually I got the other side first. Then I came over here to try to figure out what I was doing wrong. And basically I just wasn't hitting it hard enough. That's all it was. But man. Alright, so we got our new calipers. Let's clean off our emergency brake stuff. Which, by the way, the shoes look great. Alright. Got my new rotor. Oh. Rock Auto just kind of irritated me. So, I got no magnet this time, which, you know, that's why you buy parts from Rock Autos for the magnet. But I didn't even get a packing list. So I had to go figure out which whatever I'm trying to say. I had to figure out which caliper went to what side. Now see how easy that went on? Piece of cake. Just like it should have. Alright, now before put screws back in, I'm gonna put some Loctite on there. No, I'm not. I'm gonna put some anti-seize on there because I want the next person, whoever it is, whenever it is, to be able to get these off again. Of course, the plane. Didn't bring a screwdriver over. Why would I do that? It's not like you're going to need it to put these in. Alright. Try not to look like a Tin Man when you're done with this. Alright, we got the rotor off the other side. Let's go put the new rotor on over there. Tighten the screws up, and that's all I'm going to do for this for tonight anyway. I've got to look at the Suburban real quick, and I kind of want to get the HVAC controls out of here because I know it needs a bunch of bulbs in there, so we need to do that too. All right, well, I got the backing plate just sitting on there. And I'm going to tighten it down. So let's do that. I already put the new slides in and greased them, so we're good there. But I think I already messed up the caliper. I mean, not bad. I don't like this design, and I'm going to show you why. I think it's a real pain in the butt. That's on there. So this here, the pad, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, like hooks. It's got these claw things that go inside the piston. That's what holds that in. But of course, I forgot to put the rattle clip in there, so that's got to go in first, and then maybe we can put this in. Which it's real fun getting all three of these to line up. And still have the strength to push them in. Oh, come on. And I'm going to tell you, I'm getting old, and this is hard for me to do. You young guys are probably like, oh, that's easy. We do it all the time. All right. So you have the pad in, got the rattle clip in. And then this should go right over here like that. Easy enough. Use the new bolts they gave us. There we go. I was like, why is it not going in? Because it should definitely be going in. Everything's brand new. Before you put that on, you might want to put the other brake pad on. Here we go. Off again. See, it's getting late. I don't really want to be out here, and I'm messing things up. I don't know if that's related or not, but that's what's happening. Alright, so grab one of our other brake pads. Put this back out. Just like that. Can we just throw our other pad in there? Out. Okay, other pad's in. This side should go right on. I said this side should go right on. Why you're not going on? it was just in there. There we go. I think I had it not straight. Let's just say that. I think I had her going on crooked. Alright. Let me get these tightened up. Then we'll go over to the other side and do the same thing. Except maybe not so many screw ups. Let's try that. So I'm not sure if I showed this, so I'm going to show it again. We've got our lights on. There's a dimmer. That's as bright as I get. Anyway, you can see the 5 is burnt out. So I got that. Down here, the fan is burnt out, but you can see the recirc. You can't see the AC. I don't know if that's supposed to light, but that ring is surely supposed to light, which you can't even see because my finger's right there. Anyway, let me get some flashlight action here. Hopefully I don't blind everybody. But yeah, I think the AC's, I'm not sure that's supposed to light or not. But the fan for sure is, and the temperature is supposed to light up. Which, as you can see, they are not. So, we got at least 2 burnt out bulbs. I didn't bring a key, so I can't turn it on. I wanted to see if the defrost switch worked. But, that's what we're working with right now. So, we gotta try to get this, panel out. So, last night I said I was only gonna do the rotors. Couldn't stop there. Had to put the calipers and pads on. I haven't hooked up the hydraulic lines yet. Mainly because I don't have anyone here to help me bleed the brakes. So once... spider just landed on my neck. Ugh, yuck, get out of here. Yeah, I'll do that today. And then hopefully find someone to help me bleed the brakes. But right now, I need to pull this seat out and the other seat out and vacuum underneath it, get it all nice and clean, put it back together. And then we're going to start on the dash lights, because I think I already showed you the number 5 area is burnt out, and then down here we're missing those 2 climate control lights. So in order to fix those, you need to drop this panel. Not a big deal. There's a couple doors you got to take off. There's 1 screw in here, and there's 1 screw here on the other side, and I'll get the light on in here before I start. Obviously you disconnect the wires on this switch here. This should be screws up here. I don't feel any though. Maybe this just pops right out. And then there's probably 4 screws holding the cluster in. There's a screw you got to take off in here underneath that panel back there that you can't see. Oh, more change. Okay. Yeah, we've got to take off that back panel. There's a screw in there. And then this piece will come out, disconnect the hazard switch. And then you can get to the screws that hold this in. So a little bit of work. A lot more than what's needed for this. But we'll get it done. Anyway, first thing I need to do is get these seats out and get to cleaning. Alright, well we got the seat out. And at least they were staying hydrated. There's all kinds of water bottle caps in here. So let's clean this out, and then we'll go ahead and take out the passenger seat, vacuum that. I'll get out the little green machine. We'll clean the carpets, and then we'll put stuff back, and then we'll start the dash lights. Because, you know, dash lights. Alright, got both seats out. Oh, let's get to cleaning. And then I think we're going to fold up the back seats too and clean them. I mean, we definitely got to scrub them because they're full of mold, but underneath them I'm sure is full of pretty much the same stuff. So let's get this clean. Alright, we just got done vacuuming. Is it good? No. Is it better? Yes. In the back, that was all full of garbage, so we got that all clean. I'm going to shampoo that first, and then drop the seats back down, and then go ahead and start the carpet. Yeah, this should be interesting. All right, well, here's where it helps to have a plan. I've already had all this bottom stuff out when I was putting the ignition in. And had I known I was going to have to change a dash bulb, I would have, you know, taken the dash cluster out then. But since I didn't, it looks like we got 2 Phillips screws on the bottom, and that might be it holding it. I could see a couple up on top, but I don't know if those are holding it or not. So let me get these 2 Phillips out and see if the cluster comes out. Well, this is why you just don't go pulling stuff all willy-nilly. There's a screw up here going up that way, and I didn't see it at first. I just gently pulled on the cluster and noticed it wasn't coming out, so I figured it had to be something, and sure enough there was. So on top we got a green plug and a blue plug. It looks like we got room to get them out, so we're going to get them out, get the cluster out, and see if we can replace that light bulb. Alright, got the cluster in. It's on the workbench. Hey, look at that. Gordon came and got the 2 transmissions. I got a bunch of Honda transmission parts I'm just going to throw in a bucket, and you know, they'll probably never be good again. So here's our bad bulb. This is the one above the 5, I believe. Yes. So this is it, and these are replaceable. You don't have to go to Honda and get the whole thing. So let me pull this out and see what I've got for a replacement. Well, I grabbed a pilot console, and wouldn't you know it, it's got soldered in LEDs. So that's not going to work. Oh, what do I have here? Uh-oh. Ford Ranger cluster, and it looks like I've taken most of the bulbs out. That's not going to fit. Alright, so that's not going to work. Yep, Ford Ranger. Oh, what do we got here? What do we have here? This is a Ford truck console, F-150. And what are these? These are stuck in, that's what these are. Huh? Oh, they could be the same thing. Alright, let me pull one of these out. Pop it in there and see if it's going to work. Or do I just throw it in? I don't know if that's going to work or not. Let's figure out. Alright, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, so I'm going to try to put you down here. And that's the F-150 bulb in the Honda socket. And there we go. We got a working light. So what that means is, put this back in here. We'll have our number 5 lit up again. And we can put this back together and start working on the HVAC lights. I said we can put this back in here. I can't believe this. Why is this so difficult? It just came out. Why are you being a pain? And that's it. Alright, let me fight with this. I can't believe I'm fighting with a light bulb. Alright, well, the cluster's back in. And before you button everything back up, test your lights. And there we go. 5 is lit up, temp gauge is lit up, speedo's lit up, gas gauge is lit up. We are good. Alright, let's put these screws in and get on with the next thing, which is the HVAC lights. Alright, well, we pulled our radio bezel off. I actually stuck this under there just to pop it a little bit, and then I used one of the trim tools, went around the bottom and popped it, and the whole thing popped out. Here's our plug for our passenger airbag right here. And down in there is the screw for this, so this should pop out. They said it's really difficult to get out. They said it's like really in there. So let's get this screw out of here and see if we can see what they're talking about. Alright. Is it just going to pop right out? So far, don't know if you guys can see. Ow! Alright. Oh, that wasn't difficult. Alright, we're going to disconnect the hazards, and then we'll work on the HVAC controls. Well, this little pick comes in so handy. I was able to sneak in here, turn it sideways, and push it in, and clip came right out. Here it is. Now, I don't know why they put the clip on the inside. They could have put the thing on the outside, which would have made it a whole lot easier to take out. But they didn't. Thanks, Honda. So we got these two screws here. Might help if I put the camera on so you can see what I'm actually doing. Come on. Oh, these are silver ones. The other ones were black that went up there. Ah, there's the horn again. Alright. I might have to do a little concentrating now. I know there's a plug behind here. I don't know if there's two. There's one for sure. But man, it's gonna be a pain. I think there's a couple clips like right here and on the other side. You gotta push them down and then it comes out. And my battery's about to die in the camera, so let me get this out and I'll see you in the garage. Well, I did what they told you not to do. I guess I applied too much pressure, broke this clip off. So now I got to run to Dollar General, get some more of that epoxy that back on. And what I wanted to show you is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 7 little screws in the back here. So we're going to get them out and I'll show you how to do these light bulbs. So once you get those 7 screws out, pull this cover off gently. Don't need to be yanking on it because we've got these wires in here. You don't want to pull those off of the connectors inside. So we've got a screwdriver which is perfect size. You just turn those a little bit. This is a DeWalt screwdriver actually. Interesting. And then these should come right out. Yep. Okay, now these here you can get from Honda. They're like $6 a piece, which is outrageous. And I'm going to show you how to do it for a lot cheaper than that. I think I've already showed you in a couple of videos. But I believe those are 7219s. So let me get my tripod. I'll set that up. And we'll go about replacing these bolts. I think you guys can see there's 2 long legs that come down from here. And they just pull through and you wrap them around. And on here hits the metal, and that's what gives you your power to the lights. So what we're going to do is undo the wire from here, just like that. Maybe. Sometimes the smallest things are the hardest things to work with. I don't know if I got anything small enough to get in there. I got one side out. This side just does not want to come out for some reason. It's probably a Honda thing. You bulb, go in there and don't ever come out. No, come on. So I'm not sure if it's a 7219 or a 8640. I've got them both over here. Alright, there we go. One bulb liberated. Let's check the 8640s first. I think they've got shorter legs, which, I mean, doesn't really mean anything. We need to cut them off anyway. Oh, no, it's got super long legs. Okay. Just like everything else. Come on. Get out. I just want to see if it's going to work. It is longer, but I don't know if that means anything. Grand scheme of things. It might. Come on. Oh, looks like it's going to fit right in there. So you see how much further it's sticking out? Not a whole lot. I think we're going to roll with it, see if it fits. So, the pattern's right on the back. Up, over, down, go over again, and we're going to cut it right there. Same thing with this one. Just go up, over, back down, and then we're going to go over there and cut it. So let me do that, and then I'll test it, see if it works, and if it does, we'll throw it in, move on to the next one. Well, I went there, and lo and behold, they did not have what I was looking for. So we got the Gorilla Super Glue, and we're going to throw that on. That little corner there, put that on. But first, before we do that, I'm going to bring this outside and make sure that the light bulbs work. Because I don't want to do that, bring it out there, and then, bump it or something and break it or something. Let's make sure these lights work first, and then we'll come in here and glue that corner in. Alright, we got it all plugged back in. Hey, look at that, we got lights. Alright. Well, I just killed the camera before I was done. Alright, so we got lights. We know that. Yay! Now, gonna unplug it. Go glue that corner on. Then clean up all the plastics and start putting this thing together later, I think. But I'm pretty happy with that. And I wanted to say that those light bulbs, I believe, are about 40 cents a piece. Compare that with the $6 or $7 that the dealer's going to charge you. Yeah, I know which way I'm headed. And now you know the part number. Mine were by CEC, I believe, is the company. Okay, from this point forward in the video, it's going to be taking on a new camera because I dropped the other one and it broke. So the next few pieces of video are going to have timestamps. New camera, it knows recording with timestamps. So ignore those and enjoy the rest of the video. And what I wanted to let you guys know is that I went ahead and tried to charge the AC, and as soon as I did, the belt turned green. And that was the dye. So, looked around, thought it was a compressor, ordered a compressor. Turned out not to be the compressor, but one of the lines had a cut in it from when the guy wrecked it. So, needless to say, we sent the compressor back, fixed the line, got everything hooked back up again, charged the AC, got the first can in, everything looked good. Started putting in the second can, and the AC compressor started vibrating like crazy. So yeah, I needed the AC compressor after all. And I sent it back. So, ordered it again. It's here. Also, this thing cranks super slow. So I'm going to replace the starter, and hopefully that's it. And that's going to involve, take this off, take the manifold off. But on these, if you take the manifold off, you cannot get it out. So you have to take this piece off, which I just had off before. When we did the radiator, we took the fans out. We did everything so we could get to the top 2 bolts of the AC compressor. So once again, I'm going to take all this stuff off, move this out of the way. Only this time it's so we can get the so we can get the intake off, and we can possibly get to the starter bolts. All right, well, now that we got that piece out of there, look how much room for activities we have. So now we can easily get this out. Debating how much I want to take off of the throttle body, because really I just need to get this pulled back enough so I can actually see that 14mm bolt that's in there. The 17, I can see it's right there. There's the 17 down there. It's the 14 I'm worried about. So I may just hit these 12s, pull the intake back. That might give me enough room. Let's try that. This is our PCV hose right here. I am going to take that off. No, I'm not. I'm just going to pull everything back. Alright, well, we took a bunch of connectors off. And the intake off, and look at that. We can see the starter. How nice is that? So we got our trigger wire right here. We'll take that off. Hopefully hopefully the intake will stay there. This is the 14 millimeter that you can't get to unless you take this off. The 17's right there. This is our knock sensor right here. These are a real pain in the butt on these with the plastic intakes. Now, if you do the element like we have with the metal intakes, those are super easy to get out of the way, and it gives you plenty of room. Here, not so much. But what we do see is we see an opportunity to get some brake cleaner and clean this up a little bit, make it a little bit more presentable. So let me disconnect the battery. We'll go ahead and this is our main hot wire to the starter. We'll drop that off of there, get our 17, get our 14, and then that should be it. Starter should come right out. Alright, well, it turns out the starter's been replaced already. So hopefully this one spins faster. We got this back in. We got this on. I don't know if that's correct yet. We may have to do some adjusting on that, which is fine. Let's hook up the battery and see if anything starts smoking, shall we? And that's a no. Alright, let me tighten this down. I'll go get the keys and we'll come back and see how well it starts. And that's going to do it for this video on the 2006 Honda CRV. Did we get everything done? No, but the only thing we have left is the AC compressor. This here, you can get the backing plate and the emblem for a JDM, not for a European model. And also, the washer is kind of broken, and that's something else you can get all day long for a JDM. You can't get it for a UK built one. So I don't know what we're gonna do with that yet. Probably nothing, or I may just buy a Japanese one and see if I can make it work. Either way. All right, well, until next time, keep the wheels down and keep your wrenches in motion.